So your wedding day was the last time you did any singing?
Yes. Well, there's a certain man who I was in a band with all those years ago who very lovingly pestered and pestered and pestered and pushed and pestered and encouraged and just gently requested really that I would get back into singing, and he was very kind when for a decade I kept saying no, I can't do it, and each time I'd try to do it because I loved him and I just wanted to do something for him, but I couldn't, and I'd recoil. But each time he made a request, I kind of got a little bit closer to doing it, until one day I just felt, okay, you know, if you're gonna do it, let's do it. And so I sang at a concert, and it was so scary I can't even remember doing it. I remember the bit before and I remember afterwards, but I can't even remember doing it. It was, I could have sang Old MacDonald. I just, no idea, because there were so many people and I was so used to hiding in the background. I just felt mortified if people had heard me sing. Just being visible, being noticed. You know, I was noticed for all the wrong reasons when I was ill. You know, for being bold and for being this, and I just wanted to hide. Well, the pushy man's still in my life, and he's still pushing. Many years ago, during my illness, I had a vision of putting concerts together to not only witness God's love and mercy, but to raise money for leukemia research. But I wasn't in a position to do anything about it back then. But by doing that first concert, all the prep for it, everything beforehand, brought me, it was like the final part of my healing. It was the final part of me that I'd locked away. So I wasn't quite back to me because I couldn't allow myself to love what I used to love again.
Tell us a little bit about how you see the future developing over the next year or so. Or how you would like to see the future develop over the next year or so.
Do you know, I have no idea how the future's going to be. I have no idea even what I want the future to be, because I've reached a point in life that I don't want things anymore. It's amazing and exciting to know that you're living in God's will and not knowing whether I'm going to be in this house that I love and we've put a lot of effort into decorating and getting sorted, or whether we're going to be, you know, moved to a different city, whether I'm going to be in the job I'm doing, or whether I'm going to be moved to do something completely different, whether I'm going to be, you know, a mother to 2 boys or you know, a mother to more. I feel as though I've surrendered my will now, and it's quite exciting.
But given the situation as it is, it looks like CovWest is going to encourage you into doing some concerts and doing some recordings. Tell us a little bit about how you see that developing.
I'm following the lead of the pushy man that I think God has put in my life, and I'm just going to do whatever I'm told to do.
Tell us all the name of that pushy man.
The pushy man is Mark Russell.
What, you mean the Mark Russell?
The Mark Russell, who's known me since I was a bubba. Yeah, I think a lot of credit is given to doctors. and people think that doctors are miracle workers, and they are, but they know the knowledge because God allowed them and gave them the skill and the talents to learn the knowledge. So, you know, yes, the doctors saved me, but God spared me. You see all things, nothing about me was hidden from you. As I took shape in secret, carefully crafted in the heart of the earth before I was born from its womb, you see all things. You saw me growing, changing in my mother's womb. Every detail of my life was already written in your book. You established the length of my life before I ever tasted the sweetness of it. Your thoughts and plans are treasures to me, O God. I cherish each and every one of them. How grand the scope, how many in number. If I could count each one of them, they would be more than all the grains of sand on earth. Their number is inconceivable. Even when I wake up, I am still near to you. So that says to me that God knew everything about what was going to happen before I was even born, before I knew anything about it, before my life even started. So he knew what was going to happen, that I was going to be diagnosed, that I was going to be fine for the wedding. And then on the 2nd of September we found out that I was expecting our first child. And we'd been told when I was diagnosed that what they were going to do to me would mean that I'd never have children, and I said, well, then you harvest my eggs. At which point they told me that they couldn't harvest my eggs, I'd been diagnosed too late. Harvesting my eggs, they said, would take 6 weeks, and I said, that's fine, we wait. And they said, no, unless we start treatment today, you've got 2 to 3 weeks left to live, so it's not an option. So we began treatment. But I always felt as though God had promised that we would have our own children, and got my results on the 28th of August and found out I was pregnant on the 2nd of September with our first baby, and he was born on the 11th of May 2008. We were prayed for in church after my diagnosis, and as we were being prayed for, I really felt as though God said to me, you will have 2 boys and then a girl. And after that prayer I thought, I only want 2 children. But I was certain our first was a boy, and we didn't find out what we were having, but he was born, and he was a boy, you and Isaac Harris, because Isaac is the son promised to Sarah. And then the medics thought that I had a mineral deficiency in my bones, so they recommended that we didn't try for any more children, because if I didn't have the minerals to give to the child, I'd just miscarry. So we didn't even, want to go there. In the October, they sent me for an MRI scan to find out what the problem was and how bad it was and what was left within my bones. And in the November, they contacted me with the results. It wasn't a mineral deficiency in my bones. However, it was a vascular necrosis, which means I need a double hip replacement. And in 19th of December, they said that we could still try for a child, as it wasn't a mineral deficiency. However, a pregnancy would likely be very hard on my body. So we decided to wait. We had a conversation and decided to wait until after our holiday in the June. However, we found out in the February that I was already quite well pregnant with baby number 2, who is Nate Reese, Nate meaning God-given gift, and he was born on the 27th of October 2012.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll get that.
You recording?
No, but we
Five.
can get that.
5.
No, we haven't started the interview yet.
I'm recording already. It's
Yeah,
good.
Well,
This
I
is
didn't
good
know
chance.
that. You didn't tell me you were
That's the
recording.
point.
I didn't hear
Natural,
the
we
clapperboard
do it
go.
naturally. We record.
That's how I do it
No,
every
the
day.
sound engineer does what the cameraman wants.
Okay, that's the point. Good.